Hello and welcome to the agenda. I am Ajay Kaul. Today we will analyze Prime Minister Narendra Modi's defense of the private sector. Just a few days back, Prime Minister Narendra Modi came out in strong defense of the private sector and said the culture of abusing it is no longer acceptable. His comments came at a time when the government is planning to privatize some banks. The comments also came against the backdrop of intense targeting of some top industrialists by some political parties in the midst of farmers' agitation. So, is the private sector a punching bag for politics? How significant is the role of the private sector in the country's progress? We will try to seek answers to such questions in the agenda today. We have with us former chairman of Bank of Rajasthan, Mr. Vinod Juneja, and noted economist, Mr. Abhishek Rajaram. But before we begin our conversation, let's have a look at this small report.
If the public sector is important, the role of the private sector is also vital. This is what Prime Minister Narendra Modi said in Parliament a few days back, making a strong defense of the private sector. He asserted that the culture of abusing the private sector for votes is no longer acceptable and that wealth creators are a necessity for the country, as the poor can be helped only when wealth is redistributed. He wondered what can be achieved by handing over the nation to the babus or IS officers. His comments are very significant and bold, as the political leaders have been so far reticent in utilizing the private sector, especially the industrialists, given the socialist system that has been dominant in the country. Political parties, in fact, even target each other by attaching proximity to the rivals with some or the other industrialists. The idea is to show a leader as tainted if he or she is close to some industrialist. However, Modi's comment made it clear that he is not shy of giving the private sector its due place in the country's growth. The country has seen how the growth has been constrained due to over-dependence on the public sector. There are a number of examples of how public sector enterprises have been failed or have been bleeding, putting additional burden on the economy rather than helping in growth. After all, the country will not realize its growth potential on the shoulders of public sector only. Bureau Report.
Now let's welcome our guests, Mr. Rajaram and Mr. Juneja. Welcome to the program, both of you, sir. So I'll first go to Mr. Rajaram. About you must have come to know about PM's comments on strongly defending the private sector. He says the abuse of private sector is now no longer acceptable. How do you see those comments?
Welcome such comment that private sector should not abuse their positions and should work towards servicing the nation. Now, see about this. What are the issues with the privatization of all the banks? Now, the problem first is that if you privatize all the banks, then they would work towards maximization of their profit, and it would adversely impact middle class and the poor people of the society. As we had seen in past, the government was very successful in implementing Jan Dhan Yojana. So,
Okay.
had there been only private sector bank, this would have never been successful. The success of this scheme was solely because we had public sector bank.
Right.
Second, about the vision of the people, a common man trusts more SBI, PNB, or other public sector bank in comparison to a private sector bank. Now, this is a breach of trust also. For so many years they have demonstrated. And the public sector bank has been very successful in implementing many of the government visions. So if tomorrow government says, okay, we want to lend to agriculture sector or the rural India, or for providing a rural branches, a banking facility to rural people, in that case, private sector bank would not help. So, and again, we had seen in 1969 when we came with the nationalization, and in 77 now, we have nationalized all of the banks. So when government was wrong, what was the major problem? And if we keep on doing this kind of exercising and doing everything privatization, then there would be a nexus between capital and the banking sector, and many of the frauds would not be unearthed, because many of the frauds are unearthed by the CNBI audits, and those things would not be there when we go with the mechanism of say a private sector.
But
like
Mr.
we have
Rajaram,
recently
but
seen.
Mr. Rajaram, you talked about trust factor. So if we take about, you talked about PNB. So after the fraud in PNB, the trust factor has dipped very badly, isn't it? So and then there are other PSU banks which have not, I mean, they have failed. So the trust factor in the, I mean, private sector, I mean, public sector banks also is, I mean, is low, isn't it? Because of the management.
Sir, if there,
Yeah.
sir, if there are problem with the management, if there are problem with the trust sector, then I think we should work on trust sector. We should try removing all the problems. Tomorrow, if someone do wrong thing in APN, that doesn't mean that we will close the APN. We would throw that person out. We will give punishment to that person. So in PNB, we have
So-
seen many
So that
many
can
sensitive
happen.
tackle.
That can happen in private sector. If you see the ICICI Bank issue also, their ex-chairman and CMD is now in jail. So that can happen in private sector also, no?
No, but things have to be unearthed by the RBI team or CNAG team. Not better. So in a private sector bank, they blow up out of the proportion. So we had seen these problems in cooperative sector banks also. Many of the cooperative sector banks have failed, whether it is PMC Bank
Yeah,
or
yeah.
in the past we have seen Bank of Madhopura.
Yeah.
Madhopura Bank also failed so many years. And when the liberalization
And if
started
we
in
talk
19
about PMC Bank, the people, I mean, the customers, consumers got nothing in return. They all
Today-
entire
so-
money
so
lost,
bank-
despite being a
Bank of-
yeah,
Sir,
despite
Bank
being
of Madhopura failed in 2000 in 2000 decade.
So that's what I'm saying.
till
Despite
date they have not got it.
despite being, I mean, a cooperative, the government did not come to their rescue. So what is the guarantee? Yeah.
No. Cooperative bank are not reporting to RBI. They are reporting to their own agriculture ministry or something like that.
Yeah.
So that is one of the major challenge. And in past also, when the decade of 90s started, we have got Times Bank Limited, which failed and which was merged with HDFC Bank. We had Bank of Madura Limited, which was merged with ICICI Bank.
Right.
So there are many problems. We had seen
Okay,
Bank of Punjab and
Okay, we have a former CMD of Rajasthan Bank, so maybe he can throw some more light about private government's move to privatize banks. How feasible or how good it will be, or bad? Mr. Juneja.
I am. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Juneja, please.
Raviji, what I wanted to mention, what I don't entirely agree with the previous speaker, Mr. Rajaram.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention that 19 July 1969, when Indira Gandhi nationalized our Prime Minister, late Prime Minister, nationalized the 14 big banks, and after 10 years, another 10 banks were nationalized in this new Bank of India, Punjab and Sind Bank, Andhra Bank, Corporation Bank, Vijay Bank. They were nationalized in 1969. So these were the two scenarios of part 1, part 2 of the nationalization.
Yeah.
What I wanted to mention and what I wanted to clear, nowhere in the world can you tell me any nationalized bank in the UK? Can you tell me any nationalized bank in Japan? Can you tell me any nationalized banks in anywhere? I remember, sir, when we were in Indian Overseas 1969, when overseas bank were nationalized, Thailand and Malaysia, two countries, they were having branches. They were close to because they are Reserve Bank. The Thailand bank wrote to our bank that you close down your branch because we don't allow any nationalized bank to function in Malaysia and in Thailand. So they have to make another bank called Bharat Overseas Bank. With that, I am talking as back as 1970, first nationalization. So there are some countries in the world where they don't appreciate. I think today, whatever you say nationalization, My previous speaker was telling, hurting the middle class. Today, government, how much capital they are pumping in these nationalized banks? How much capital, after all, capital government is getting from where? From taxpayers' money, from disinvestment, and from the deficit of government. Now, last time, IDBI Bank, they tried to save. LIC has spent more than 20,000 crore and nothing is happening. I think LIC has lost 20,000 by investing in the IDBI Bank because there is nothing coming out of the bank. Other things, sir, you see, when they have merged the bank. For example, they have merged the Union Bank Corporation, Andhra Bank. They were merged. The share price of the Union Bank before merger and after merger of these small banks remains below that one. The day when these big banks, small banks were merged with the Union Bank, the day you share their share price and the share price today. So all are down. So it is a good idea.
But Mr. Juneja, Mr. Rajaram has a point, good point, that if the government wants to have some, popular schemes for the relief or for the people, the general public, so will they be able to route it through the private banks? Because they can do it right now under Jan Dhan Yojana.
It is. Sir, these schemes are not only available in India. I was working in Sumitomo Bank in Japan also. Government was doing these schemes and private sector bank can even. Why only private? You have got RRBs, regional rural banks are there. You use them. You have got NABARD. You have got SIDBI. You have got other institutions available to you. Agriculture Finance Corporation. You can use them. Why only you have to use the nationalized bank for this purpose? Let them do their main scheme. And government has got district machinery. Let them use the district machinery. They have got district agriculture office. They have got district development office. Let them give all the subsidy. Now they all have got accounts in the bank. Let them route their subsidy or whatever dole they want to give to these banks. So it is not necessary that government schemes, whether it is a minimum price thing or you can say some subversion in the interest, subversion in the export credit. But anyhow, it has to be done because you see, government has got no business to be in the business. Government job is not to. This is a very famous quote everywhere that government has got no business to be in the business.
But then, sir, the character of our country is basic socialist polity, as of now. So, does that mean that we have to give up that polity or that system?
We have got socialist company. We have to. Socialist means we have got. I do agree, Mr. Kaul, with you that yes, we have got a small margin, farmer margins. We have got a poor to poor. We have got cobblers. We have got everybody in this country.
Yeah.
We have got Ambedkar Yojana. We have to support everybody. We want to, but there is only. You cannot use the only nationalized bank branches to only this, and there other sectors can also give the loan. There is other, as I told you, RRBs are very good in this. They can handle this one, regional rural banks. And then we have got agencies, but you cannot ask only this burden of government socialist scheme to be given. You see, today, in case you wanted to sell, Air India you want to sell, now you said you will sell. Bharat Petroleum you will, I do understand that by all these things, government will get this investment. Earlier we were talking only of disinvestment. Now we are talking first time in this union budget. Honorable Finance Minister and Honorable Prime Minister all use the word privatization. First time the word disinvestment has come to privatization. I totally agree. Yes, privatization has to be there. If this country cannot have as Prime Minister is telling that this free farmers law cannot be given, and I do agree. We have to have a new laws, we have to get new things.
Right.
We support this new law, and similarly, we are talking about the main thing about the bank. Now you have got the two banks which has been untapped. The Indian Overseas Bank in the Chennai and the UCO Bank is there in the Calcutta. Of course, you have got the Punjab and Sindh Bank, and then you have got the Bank of Maharashtra. But who will buy these banks? Why anybody will invest in banks? They are all bleeding. Their balance sheet is almost now like a negative. It will be like another case like Air India, that you want to sell Air India. Nobody, unless and until you are agreed to give your good banks like Central Bank, Indian Bank or Bank of India, then only you will get a good investment.
Right.
Nobody will buy. Now Lakshmi Commercial, this Lakshmi Vilas
Vilas
Bank.
Bank.
It is a good thing that they have given to Development Bank of Singapore. So nobody has suffered had they given some PNC bank to others. So it would have been better. Now today, none of the depositor of Chennai-based private sector bank, Lakshmi Vilas Bank, because within a week to 10 days, then RBI brought the Development Bank of Singapore, which is only AAA bank in the world. And they are also, it is a win-win situation for both, as
Yeah,
well as
so
for depositor and as well as for the investors also.
Yeah, so Mr. Rajaram, you heard Mr. Juneja, he gave elaborate overview about the banking sector, but I'll take it this discussion to, an upper level, beyond that. It's about socialism. So is it time to end this socialist culture, socialist polity, and move towards encouraging private sector? As we know, as we talk about BSNL, we talked about Air India, these sectors have been, public sector institutions have been bleeding and in fact causing a burden, additional burden on the economy. So is it time to maybe move on to private sector?
Thank you, Ajay, Paulji. And very happy that I got this chance after Mr. Juneja have said. Because what I wanted to point out, if one go what Mr. Juneja has said, then let me quote the statement of Finance Minister in 1969, what he said, and just go through what Mr. Juneja has said. Let me quote the Finance Minister. Post-independence, the banking industry is dominated by private sector bank. The government has realized that this was leading to a major section of population being left out by the banks. This section includes poor, as the bank has mainly catered to the rich. Therefore, this government is prompted to nationalize major banks of India.
Right.
Now, this was his statement. And whatever Mr. Juneja has said is again what he has said in 1969, that what is the problem government was facing or the country was facing. And again, Mr. Juneja is saying that we should again go to that problem again. Now coming to socialist thing, let me frame it again.
Yeah.
All privatization involves selling of state property at throwaway prices. This is true world over. Whenever privatization happen or decentralization happen, and it is more true in case of India, which has been majorly unearthed or proved by various reports of CNJ again and again. Privatization or privatizing an enterprise of the state is not merely changing the property of the state from enterprise to schools or hospital to reduce debts, but it also transfers the property of the state to privatize monopolies. This means that whatever the property the states have accumulated or built through sacrifices of the common man through taxes, tax payments, this money is not of the government. This has been collected from the common man through tax collections. And it is without inflating it, those are being sold at throwaway prices. This is called primitive accumulation of a capital.
But Mr. Rajaram,
This
Mr. Rajaram,
is our fear.
But
Sir, how
yeah.
you will save? No, he has said that LIC has put the money.
Yeah.
No, LIC in itself would have not put the money.
It
That
is
would have done on the instruction of the government
Right.
or recommendation by the government.
Yeah.
So, who is wrong? The government is wrong or LIC is wrong?
No, what I am
So,
trying.
LIC has bailed out many a times, many banks.
But LIC did not bail out ILFS. But so
You want LIC to bail out everyone.
so no, that's why you said LIC is bailing out everybody. So I'm on a
LIC has bailed out IDBI.
so I'm on a
That is
broad
safe.
I'm on a broader issue about socialism. Is this time to maybe give a goodbye to socialism and move towards capitalism? Because if we
because
See,
India,
I'll
cannot compare it in.
I'll tell you sectors. Because see, if you take about some sector like defense sector, it has been controlled only by the public sector. So we have seen we have not been moving ahead. I mean, we have been depending on imports. If we talk about auto sector, if we talk about telecom sector, which has gone, we got a boon after it was privatized. So, and there are other sectors, aviation sector. I mean, we have one Air India which is bleeding and causing huge burden on the economy. So, these sectors, I mean, public sectors have, I mean, management has not been good and they have been, I mean, it's bad. What do you say?
No, wherever the management is bad, you need to change the management.
So
You
who
need
is
to change
who is
working style
the?
of
I mean,
police.
who is the management?
No,
Government.
well,
I,
sir,
management is the government in these institutions, no?
sir, you cannot overthrow socialism from India, because we have more than 1/3 population living almost around to the below property line. Here, maybe it's slightly above, slightly low. That could be a matter of dispute. So if we do everything privatized, so if we say we will do education privatizing, then what is the use of midday meal scheme? We will not be able to provide midday meal scheme. We would not be able to provide good education to those who cannot afford good education. So socialist structure has to be there. A poor person would never be able to get his bank account opened in any bank. So in a private sector bank, he will never approach ICICI Bank or Axis Bank or Citibank or Deutsche Bank to get his account open. For that, you require public sector bank. You require many things. India is incredible. India. It is mix of so many countries. You cannot say that, okay, we will provide benefits only who is able to pay for it. So you have to
But
take care.
but if Prime Minister, when he says that a Babu is controlling these institutions, so how long can the country see that? If you become an IAS officer, you are controlling fertilizer ministry to maybe shipping ministry or everything. So all sectors.
So should we consider this statement as failure of the government to control Babus?
That is his statement.
I'll leave it to your wisdom.
So I'll ask Mr. Juneja about this statement. Mr. Juneja, about Prime Minister saying that what can be achieved by handing over nation to Babus just because somebody has passed an IAS test. He controls from fertilizer to airlines, everything. What do you say on that?
Sir, there are 2-3 things. Number one, Mr. Kaul, one should understand in this country, there is always difference between the communism, socialism, capitalism, private sector, public sector. These are some of the economic terms which everybody is using. India has now going to be after 1 year, India will be a 75 years old country. 75, 47, and then we'll be very soon we are celebrating our 75th year. I think it is a fairly long time we have tried our socialism in this country. Last 75 years. And what of the end what data we are talking 1/3, 2/3, it was all the time remaining in the below poverty line, and the present system what we have seen is not able to uplift them. Another important point we must appreciate the socialism that we are able to have IITs in this country, we are able to have IMM in this country, we are having the institution like All India Institute of Medical Science here, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore we have got, and we have got DHEL, we have got all HAL. These things we all come. India has made the Tejas, Indianized Atmanirbhar. We are appreciating. We are not underestimating the role of public sector. We do realize public sector is there, but government has come now earlier.
No, my question is like, is it time to move over and move on to maybe socialism to capitalism, or maybe a mix?
No, I think we must try. There is nothing we have tried. 75 years socialism. Let us try some mixed thing between socialism and capitalism. Now at least government has got a bold enough to tell. We are not talking about what you call about disinvestment. We are talking about privatization.
Right.
Railways they have done for privatization, and nobody has got any complaint that railways freight trains they have done. Now they are going to do the passenger trains also. We have to do some experiment in this country. We cannot go in only on one theory that only socialism is good, capitalism is bad. We have to find out something like a mixed economy, what Nehru has done, a mixed economy where both public sector and private sector. But unfortunately, after a certain time, the private sector was already considered their chores. They are only profit making. What is after all, private sector is also supporting by you. They are also taking money and reinvesting in the capital investment. They are also expanding business. They are also giving the employment. So one has to not take in
Wealth
private-
creators. Prime Minister has said they are wealth creators.
They are also UK. They are everywhere. They are the wealth creators. You cannot totally underestimate that they are thinking they are not. Ultimately, they are everybody staying in this country. Now today, the collection of income tax is going up. GST is also going up. It is not that government sector is only paying, it is the private sector,
Right.
which are the major contributors to both GST and including the state exercise. Now liquor and the petroleum products has got both. GST, now petroleum products have just got GST element also and state has also got. Now for example, whenever petroleum prices got, Government of India gets thing and the Delhi government also gets certain shares in the petroleum price. So these are the certain things we have to now today. All the petroleum companies are nationalized, and where the petrol is gone, 100 rupees a liter. 100 rupees a liter petrol. What a common man will do, in spite of all the. See, another thing, Mr. Paul, you must understand in this country, and when I am very much surprised and working all the petrol, whether it is the Bharat Petroleum, Indian Oil, BP, Hindustan Petroleum, all petroleum companies in this country have got different refinery, different pay scales, different staff, and their parameters are different. But all the petroleum companies raise the same day price.
Yeah.
It is not that Bharat Petroleum has done 10
Right.
paisa less or Indian Oil. Indian Oil is a big company. They may increase by 1 rupee. Bharat Petroleum can increase by 1.
They have
So all
parity.
the
They have parity in.
Do you-
They have parity in
No,
that.
do-
Yeah.
No, but do you think not is it a cartel?
Yeah.
When we are talking about cartel in this country, don't you think the India oil companies are having a cartel?
So we are-
when you do in the cement,
So-
they said there is a cartel. How is that? Do you think there is no efficiency difference between Indian Oil and Hindustan Petroleum? They are all running on the same efficiency.
Right. We are running out of time. One last question to Mr. Abhishek Rajaram. You heard Mr. Juneja say, private sector cannot be abused, as Prime Minister also said. So, I mean, there has been an impression that has been created for basically for politics that industrialists chor hai, lutere hai, all those but they are, as Prime Minister has said, they are the wealth creators, which is just redistributed. That wealth is redistributed for the poor, for the benefit of the poor. So, are they chor or lutere?
No. It's totally wrong. It's going on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Private sector is the biggest wealth creator, biggest part who has brought nation to this level. The problem is this, that if after 75 years, if we are able to reduce this poverty, once we got independence, we have more than 75% of our population around poverty line. They were very poor middle class people who just had a position hand to mouth. Now they are substantially living in Pakka house, or they have every white goods. So this has been an achievement of India in last 75 years. But if we consider 100 rupees petrol as an achievement, then I beg to differ.
No, it is not achievement. He is criticizing
90
it.
rupees diesel.
He is criticizing it. He is not achieving. He is not praising it. But my point is, political parties or some parties attack about crony capitalism. We keep hearing about this crony capitalism and all that. I mean, you are close to that industrialist, this industrialist. I mean, abusing. How do you see that? I mean, how long can?
No. You cannot abuse private sector.
Yeah.
They are the biggest wealth creator. They have generated lots of employment. You have to respect them.
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody should abuse private sector.
Yeah.
What I am saying, I'm not saying that privatization is wrong. What I am saying, 100% privatization in banking sector or in education sector is not correct, because you have to implement your say you have to give agriculture loan. So now private sector will never give it. If you ask Citibank or Deutsche Bank to give an agriculture loan for a buffalo or a cart,
But sir, you
will
are
they give?
talking, do you think that the Bank of India or State Bank in London, are they participating in the local scheme? No bank is participating. Foreign banks, why you are telling, today the State Bank of India branch in New York or London, do you think they will participate in that? So nowhere the foreign banks are participating in the local lending. This is a worldwide phenomenon.
Sir, for local lending, you have to buy the certificates if you don't provide those services.
No, that is it. That is
And
if you
I
are not
know-
taking the
I
target.
know if you don't
that you
buy
are not
the
taking the
certificate.
target.
And that certificate,
Excuse me, both of you, we have to conclude, but I guess the consensus is, there are differences, I'm sure, but consensus is that we cannot, maybe we have to leave some sectors aside in privatization, maybe, and have a mix, as Mr. Juneja was also saying, mix of privatized and public sector also. But the time of this program is over today. Thank you both of you for participating.
Thanks.
This is all in the agenda today. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with another important topic tomorrow. Till then, goodbye.